The Collegian News, with news anchors Corey Aiken and Samantha Ruiz. This is your weekly webcast update.
The UTB and UT Pan Am merger bill is closer to becoming law.
And the Student Government Association will host leadership events. This and more coming up after this.
The Collegian News is brought to you in part by the Dean of Students Office.
Are you ready to take on a leadership role? Do you want to serve your fellow students? Then run for a seat in the Student Government Association. Applications are available in the Dean of Students Office or online at utb.edu/SGA. Submit your application by 5 p.m. April 2nd to the Dean of Students Office located in the Student Services Building. Candidates are required to attend an election advisory meeting with SGA advisors at noon or 4 p.m. Thursday, April 4th. For more information, call Heather Olage at 882-5141 or by email at heather.olage@utb.edu.
Hello UTB-TSU students. Welcome back to the Collegian News. I'm Samantha Ruiz.
And I'm Marlene Rodriguez, filling in for Corey Aiken.
Last Tuesday, the Texas House of Representatives voted to pass a bill authorizing the merger of UT Brownsville and UT Pan American. Marlene Rodriguez has the details.
The Texas House bill merging UT Brownsville and UT Pan American and creating a medical school is on its way to the Texas Senate. HB 1000, which was unanimously passed by the House of Representatives last Tuesday and amended last Wednesday, will be forwarded to the Senate. The proposal would authorize the UT System Board of Regents to abolish UT Brownsville and UT Pan American and create a university with academic campuses in Cameron and Hidalgo counties, an academic center in Starr County, and a medical school, the location of which would be determined by a committee established by the regents. HB 1000 now contains an amendment to reflect that the UT System Board of Regents may collect any fee previously authorized for UTB and UT Pan American. For the Collegian News, this is Marlene Rodriguez.
My co-anchor Samantha Ruiz covered the Texas Southmost College Board of Trustees meeting. Here's what happened.
Texas Southmost College President Lily Tercero received a 36-month extension on her contract and a salary increase during last Thursday's Board of Trustees meeting. Tercero's original contract was for 36 months, and October 1st, 2012 was her one-year anniversary, Board Chair Francisco Kiko Rendon told the Collegian after the meeting. Tercero's previous salary was $175,000 per year, plus a car allowance of $6,000 per year. She will now be paid $210,000 per year.
So instead of having 24 months left and it ticking down, we just, on the anniversary date, extended it for another 36 months.
As of last Thursday, 13 employment positions were available for Texas Southmost College, Tercero announced. She said more positions will be posted on the college's website within days and expects TSC to have hundreds of positions available for hire. Tercero said the positions will close as soon as they are filled and recommends that those interested in working for TSC look at the available positions online daily. Tercero also announced the appointment of Angelica Fuentes as the Dean of the College of Preparatory Studies and Alejandro Salinas as the Director of Admissions. Fuentes outlined TSC's College Preparatory Division on developmental courses. Students will be tested through the Texas Success Initiative, or TSI, and the college will provide an additional form of assessment. For the Collegian News, I'm Samantha Ruiz. Here's Kayla Contreras with the latest on Brownsville's new garbage collection rates.
Brownsville residents will see a 2.44% increase in rates for solid waste and brush removal services. The new rate takes effect April 1st. Currently, the monthly rate for one curbside container is $19.83. The new rate will be $20.21. Two containers currently cost $26.58 per month. The new rate will be $27.09. The current rate for containers that are located at the back of a residence is $27.95. The new rate will be $28.48. Interim Finance Director Lupe Granado said the rates are tied to the Consumer Price Index.
Service license agreement with Allied Waste increases the yearly service yearly service rates by using two indexes. One is from the U.S. Department of Labor and the other one is the Department of Energy.
In other business, the Commission authorized the conversion of the Stegman building located on 11th and Washington Street into a performing arts academy.
Brownsville Society for Performing Arts will be operating out of the facility. And so we have Kel Munoz. We've selected Kel Munoz in the amount of $349,600 to go ahead and do the architectural services, the architectural design and construction plan.
Commissioners also approved the installation of a skate park at Oliveda Park. Parks and Recreation Director Christopher Patterson told the Commission the installation will be a $450,000 project and that Oliveda Park was the selected site because of its existing concrete pad, lighting, and parking. The American Ramp Company, the world's largest skateboard provider, will provide engineering services.
For the Collegian News, this is Kayla Contreras.
Last Tuesday, the Student Government Association allocated monies to sponsor UTB and TSC leadership-based events. With more on this, here's Alex Rodriguez.
During the SGA's last meeting, the Senate approved Resolution 25, which allocates $1,500 to cover some of the expenses for the leadership banquet, which is sponsored by Student Life and the SGA. The resolution states it is very important to recognize student leaders across campus. The Senate has co-sponsored the event in previous years. The banquet will be held at 5 p.m., April 12th, in the Student Union's Grand Salon. In other business, the SGA passed Resolution 26, which allocates $1,200 to assist with costs for the UTB-TSC Leadership Conference. The conference will be free to UTB-TSC students and will include breakfast, lunch, and conference materials. It is scheduled from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. April 6th in the Set B Lecture Hall and Student Union.
Like we're getting leaders from the campus community as well from here from school who served before. For example, like we were talking in the meeting, we were thinking of one of the ex-presidents from SGA from a while back. You know, that guy has a really good experience with leadership and stuff like that.
During the Academic Advisors Corner, Amparo Jaramillo said the deadline to withdraw from the class with a W is March 27th.
We all know that withdrawals affect only the completion rate, not the GPA, but that's not enough to make a decision. So encourage the students please to come and talk to their academic advisor, because depending on the academic standing, if the student is doing a withdrawal, can be suspended for the following semester. So we're there, open, waiting for the students to come.
For the Collegian News, this is Alex Rodriguez.
Samantha, what are some of the incidents reported to campus police this week?
Well, Marlene, on February 26th, a student was cited for possession of drug paraphernalia after a public safety officer smelled marijuana on the student as he received a study room key from the front desk at the University Boulevard Library. Campus police officers met with the student and he said he had smoked pot earlier that day. The officers confiscated a pipe with marijuana residue from him. A copy of the report was forwarded to the Dean of Students' office. A man received a criminal trespass warning after 3 men were reportedly drinking alcohol on the bridge leading to the village at Fort Brown. One man fled the area on a bicycle, but one of the 2 men who stayed behind was identified as a UTB-TSC student. The student said he had not been drinking. The other man had a flask that he said contained whiskey and smelled of alcohol. He was advised that if he returned to campus, he could be arrested for criminal trespass.
The 22nd Juried Art Show was held last Tuesday. Webcast editor Gabriela Moreno was there.
Every year we have a juried student show. Whichever art students that wanted to participate in an exhibition, they submitted a piece. And the juror was Renato Santiago, who is an art professor at UTPA in Edinburgh. And he juried the show, and he looks at the work and he picks usually 3 prizes for 3 students. Maria Lozano was Best of Show, Best 2D was Juan Salias, and Best 3D was Pamela Acosta. Today we have the opening reception for that, and so we're looking at all the students' works today.
Best 2D winner Juan Salias explained his artwork.
My piece is acrylic on wood. It's really just a recurring sketch in my sketchbook, and It was initially going to be something different, but I hadn't painted in a while. I usually do mixed media kind of stuff, and I tend to move away from the painting, but I hadn't done it in a while, so I just kind of wanted, to play around. So saw the sketch in my sketchbook and just figured I'd go for it, and that's how the idea came about.
The exhibit will be on display until April 12th. For the Collegian News, this is Gabriela Moreno.
What's on the minds of students? Here's Alex Rodriguez with this week's segment of I Think.
The I Think question of the week is, what stories would you like to see in the Collegian?
Police blotters, because I think they're more interesting than anything else.
Why do you think the police blotter is interesting?
Well, they cover everything that's important, and they're actually pretty funny as well sometimes. So I think, honestly, all of my friends, all the ones that I know anyway, that's the only reason they read the paper as well, because of the police blotter.
Deportes, porque me gusta ver los eventos que hay en REC y los juegos y cuándo van a ser los juegos para saber los horarios y el lugar y todo. Los juegos cuando juegan contra otras escuelas.
¿Qué clase de historias quisieras ver aquí en el UTB?
Pues básicamente de historias de terror, cosas que han pasado como de fantasmas y cosas que cuenta la gente que han visto.
For the Collegian News, this is Alex Rodriguez.
In sports, the UTB TSC women's golf team is competing today at the Blue Bonnet Classic hosted by Northwood University at the Tangle Ridge Golf Course in Grand Prairie.
UTB held tryouts for its future men's and women's cross-country teams. Michelle Espinosa fills us in.
10 women and 10 men participated in the March 9 tryouts. Vanessa Garcia received the best time for the women with 19:55 in the 5-kilometer course, and Hector Becerra received the best time for the men with 27:05 in the 8-kilometer course. Head coach Dan Balaguero said about 7 slots will be filled on each team. So far, no one has been signed to a letter of intent. We asked Balaguero what the athletes will be offered.
That's still to be determined. We haven't really been given a dollar amount, but there'll be numerous partial scholarships available.
For the Collegian News, I'm Michelle Espinosa.
That's all the news for this week. Thank you for joining us.
Don't forget to tune in next week for another edition of the Collegian News. Have a great day.
The Collegian News is brought to you in part